Hello and welcome back to my, this is weird, but anyway, hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Arij if you're new, and today we are doing a 2-in-1 type of video. It's going to be a get ready with me, but I should probably start now while I'm talking because I'm scared it's going to take forever. But it's going to be a get ready with me, and it's going to also be a continuation of the Thrive videos that I did once before. You probably have no idea what I'm talking about because the last time I made a video for this channel series that I created, it was the first one and it was the introductory one, and then I never got back to it again because shortly after that I stopped making videos for a bit, and then once I restarted last December I had other ideas. So essentially Thrive is an acronym. It stands for Terminating, Hearing, Reading, Interested in, Viewing, and Excited about. And I created this series to kind of serve as like a way to snapshot what's going on in my head and like what I'm thinking about, what kind of content I'm consuming, just to, I don't know, document that, I guess, because in my vlogs I show you what I'm doing, but I don't really talk about what I'm doing as much as I will in this video. Okay, so let's start with the first word, terminating. So terminating is like, what am I getting rid of in my life right now, or what am I focused on getting rid of? To be honest, at the moment I'm not getting rid of anything because I've already, like, so many things in my life have been terminated. Like, for example, being a student, living in my own apartment, having like my routine that I had established over many years. Like, so many things have left my life that I'm not really in a place to be taking out more. I'm actually focusing on rebuilding and adding things to my life now. The next word is, I keep forgetting that I'm supposed to be doing my makeup, but I have a dentist appointment today, so that's what I'm doing this for. No, I'm kidding. It's Friday, so maybe we'll have fun later, who knows. But second word, hearing. So this could apply to music or anything that I'm listening to, but at the moment I'm not really listening to any specific kinds of music. It's just whatever Spotify plays me based on what I've been listening to. But what I have been listening to is podcasts. So I started listening to podcasts again, and I'm super into the Russell Brand podcast called Under the Skin. I love Russell Brand. He's just like, he's so intelligent, and it's like amazing to watch him articulate his thought processes, which are very deep, by the way, so quickly and so efficiently, and it's just, I just like sit there in awe at him and the ideas he brings forth. So his podcast, it's kind of like the Joe Rogan podcast where he, like, the format is he'll invite a guest and then have a conversation with the guest, and that's like kind of my favorite type of podcast because it's not, I'm really not a fan of the scripted ones, the ones that sound like they've been rehearsed or been typed out ahead of time. I like natural conversation because you don't really know, like, a lot of things can happen with that. There's a lot more freedom. He invites a guest, and then the guest will usually talk about their own life, and eventually it'll get to them talking about how the guest overcame the struggles in his or her life, like what they did to deal with the problems that they were going through. And it also touches a lot on spirituality, consciousness, exploring that kind of a thing, which I'm so into. And if you are intrigued, I think the podcast that you should start with is the Karamo Brown podcast. So Karamo Brown is one of the guys from Queer Eye, and that was a really good one. It's like, if you want an introductory podcast to Russell Brand, pick that one. So reading, I have actually been slowing down on reading recently just because there's so much going on and I can't. But I still have been doing it, which is an important part. I've really been into reading memoirs or reading books about people sharing their wisdom about life and how to live and things like that, because I feel like I'm in such a transitionary period in my life where for the first time in a couple of years I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what the best thing for me is, because I'm being exposed like every day to new scenarios, new situations I haven't been in. So I'm looking for answers through the minds of people I think are brilliant, and that is through their memoirs and through the books that they write to share their knowledge. I don't really see it exactly as self-help, because I used to read a lot of self-help books, and now I've moved to memoirs and biographies and this kind of a genre, just because I feel like self-help books are very much like telling me what to do directly, being like, this is what you should do to have a good life. And obviously every single person is different, so what works for one person may not work for everyone. But when you look at memoirs and books like that, it's less about this is what you should do, here's a step-by-step guide, and it's more like, this is what I did, and if it applies to you, then maybe draw from this wisdom, and if it doesn't, then just let it go. But it's less pretentious in a way. It's like I'm not putting anyone up on a pedestal. I'm just listening to what they have to say and then making judgments on my own. The last book that I read was called Big Magic, and it's about living a creative life, and I picked that one up because me doing YouTube and a bunch of other creative endeavors now that, or planning to do a bunch of creative endeavors now that I'm no longer in school, I feel like I needed some guidance from someone who's been in the field for a while. And that book did exactly that. It was very, very well written, very optimistic. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I have my review up on GOODREADS if you are interested. There are links in the description. But yeah, so the next little word thing, whatever, is interested in. And I don't know why I chose this, because it's such a broad thing, but I think it's like just to include anything that I can't include in any of the other sections. But at the moment I don't really have anything that comes to mind that I'm specifically interested in. Mostly just what I said at the beginning, where it's like there's so many changes that have occurred in my life and how like my day-to-day looks, that at the moment I'm just so super interested in making it feel as comfortable as I can, like making myself feel good despite all the discomfort that I'm feeling. The way I'm trying to do that is by introducing things into my life, like new people, new places, new activities, etc. Essentially, I'm just really interested in recreating my life into something that I'm really excited about with what I have been given at this time in my life. And everything that I do and all the actions that I take are striving towards that goal. The next word is viewing, and honestly I don't really view that much, at least not at this point in my life. Like, I'm not watching any TV shows. Actually, I was starting to watch Game of Thrones again, but I had to stop because this is gonna sound really, I don't know, pretentious, I don't know, whatever, it's the truth. So ever since I kind of started meditating and getting into yoga and learning about my body, I've been really hyper aware of how the things that I'm doing, the things that I'm consuming are affecting me. So like every time I do anything, I kind of reflect to see how I'm feeling after such a thing. And a lot of the TV shows out there right now are so negative. Like, I'm not saying that they're bad. Like, for example, let me give you a story. So a few years ago, I was so into the show Narcos. It's such a genius show. The acting is amazing. The plot is amazing. It's so interesting. I like couldn't stop watching it. I was like binging it every night. And then I started noticing some changes in myself. I started reacting very angrily to situations that I usually would be a lot more chill about. And anger was kind of an unexpected emotion just because I never get angry. Like, I get annoyed a lot, but I never feel like raging anger. But I was feeling so much of that during that time, and I reflected on it and realized that the spike in anger coincided with how much Narcos I was watching. And I realized it was because Narcos is, although an amazing show, it's just so negative. There's killing everywhere, so much graphic violence, and it's just not a very nice, uplifting story. So I had to stop. It was hard to stop, not gonna lie, because I was so invested, but I felt a lot better after that. And same thing with Game of Thrones. Like, I started watching Game of Thrones in like 2 or 3 years ago, and I stopped because I think I just got busy and then I just never got back to it again. But I tried to start it again last week. I watched 5 or 6 episodes until I realized that I probably shouldn't be watching this. Great show again, but it's not making me happier. You know, it's not. It's a lot of violence again, a lot of hate, a lot of themes of revenge. People are not very nice to each other, so I realized that I do not need to be putting that into my mind space. So that's why I've been having a hard time kind of finding good shows that are also not terrible for my mental health. I'm sure that sounds like, to someone who has like no experience of this kind of a thing, it probably sounds so like stupid, but honestly, I encourage you to reflect on the content you're consuming and how that makes you feel directly, because I'm sure a lot of your negative feelings are probably coming straight from what you are allowing yourself to view or listen to, etc. So the next word is excited about. That's not a word, 2 words. But anyway, I'm excited about a lot right now because the future is so uncertain. Literally anything could happen. In a couple of months, I may be, I don't know, like so much can happen. You know, I'm really excited about that. But at the, like, short-term wise, I'm really excited about what's happened so far. So last time I talked to you in my vlog, I was trying to find employment and like something to get an income because I don't want to work full-time, so I was looking for something part-time. And initially I was thinking maybe I just want a barista position because that's like chill. I enjoy it. And then in my off hours I would work on my own projects and kind of get my web development skills up so that I can eventually start freelancing web development or web design, web consultancy, whatever. And that basically means like I would have individual clients myself and then I would help them with their websites. And I thought that I needed a lot more skills for that. Although I didn't, I just thought that to get someone to hire me I needed to have a stunning portfolio. So that's what I was going to be working on this summer. But my friend Leah, she messaged me last week being like, hey, so my dad needs his website done. And basically the job came to me and I'm really scared. Like, I was really scared then and I'm really scared now. Like, although I know I can do it for sure, like I am doing it. It's just crazy. Like, this is what I was planning to do in September or November, like in a couple of months, but I have it now. So I'm getting paid to make someone's website. The hours I choose are my own. I get to be creative. He's given me so much like creative freedom with it. I'm getting a real life experience working with a client, learning how to manage my creativity and the client's needs and expectations. And then I also got the barista job that I was talking about in the last vlog where they said I was really good, but that I didn't have enough experience. I got a call from her a few days ago being like, hey, I just thought it would be the wrong decision to let you go because you've got such a great like customer service persona. And so she said she would be willing to spend a couple extra days to train me. So yeah, so now I have that part-time job, and then I also have this freelance thing that they'll probably last a couple of weeks, but then now that I have this other job, I can still be getting an income while I look for more clients. So that's what I'm really excited about right now, although I'm like terrified because there's like that whole inner imposter syndrome type thing being like, can you even do this? Like, are you even qualified? But like, yeah, I am qualified, you know, like I just graduated from a computer science degree. Like I have previous experience designing and developing websites. I know what's up with SEO because of YouTube. So I am qualified. I just need to believe in myself and move forward and just keep going. So I'm really, really excited, but it's also like the excitement and the anxiety and the like fear of failure and fear of not meeting expectations like kind of making me feel really jittery inside. But I'm getting through it. This is just like a really, really interesting part of my life. I'm feeling so many things, and last time I had such a huge life shift was going from high school to university, but at that time I don't think I was like awake enough to really notice the changes going on in me. But this time it's like I'm fully awake for everything. Like notice all the new things that are coming up. I don't know. It's very interesting, although difficult because some of the feelings that come up are very negative. Well, most of them at the moment are negative, but it's still cool. Like I'm experiencing new things, which is what the purpose of my life is, to experience as much as possible. So yeah. Anyway, am I done? I don't know. Maybe I am. Is this it? Is this the look? I don't know if I want to do eyeliner. Maybe I'll like do the mascara a bit better, but yeah, I think that's it. I don't really do much other than eyes, so yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.